after last weekend?
I am feeling really good. I think as I age, I need more recovery. Like, I just do. And so I can tell, like, my body is still repairing, like, the muscles
Yeah.
are just still connecting, you know? And I'm like, I just don't wanna pound. And even, like, my respiratory, I'm like, I don't wanna put stress on it. So I have just been doing a lot of yard work, a lot of houseworky kinda
Yeah.
stuff, you know? So I'm like, feel like I'm being active, but not anything pushy, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Nice.
And everybody really appreciates because things are looking good around here.
That's awesome.
So, okay, let's go ahead and get started because we
Okay.
will chat about all the things. Um, so welcome to the Drop Bag Podcast. I'm Kelly, as usual, here with Aimee, and it's Warnke, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Am
Thanks
I
for
saying that
having
right?
me.
Okay. Yes, and I mean, I kind of felt like calling you and Courtney and apologizing after the last podcast because I, like, listened back to it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm calling Aimee Courtney and Courtney Aimee, like, every time."
I mean, it's an honor to be called Courtney, so that's completely fine.
But it is so weird because I knew you were Aimee, and I knew she was Courtney, and somehow it's like, you know, when you say something wrong well, somebody says you said something wrong, and you're like, "No, I didn't say that," because in your brain, it was correct.
Yeah.
It was like that, like, I was saying the wrong thing, but in my brain, it was fine, so, whew. Anyway, okay, let's start with the tradish, which is drop bag item because you have been doing quite a bit of running. I'm super excited because I got to see you out on the course of the Lone Star Hiking Trail, AKA Sam's Last
You
Stand
were crushing it.
that I got to run. It was so fun. But it was so fun to meet you. I was excited to be there because it was, like, just gonna be all these people that I know and or haven't met, you know, but I know, and
Yeah.
so I was just really excited to get to put, like, people together with, um, just what I know of them. So, you did that. You had a race this morning. What was the race this morning that you had?
The Prickly Pear 50K. It's my favorite local race here in San Antonio.
Well, it sounds adorable.
It's amazing.
Prickly
Yeah.
pear. Did you get any prickly pear juice or anything?
I got a really cool cactus, like a prickly pear cactus they do for the awards. It's crocheted, like, in a little pot. It's so freaking cute. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
which means you got more.
Yes.
Say more.
I won overall female, so that was cool.
On your busted up ankle
It's doing
and
so much better.
okay.
I made the decision yesterday to race. I That's why I didn't race last weekend and why I was there crewing and supporting Mel. And yeah, I've just been rehabbing it like it's my job this last week, and it did great. So I, actually had an ankle bone visible, and yeah, it did great. It held up. I had to slow it down. I started out a little hot for what like, my body felt really, really good, probably because I had, like 4 first days off from running because of my ankle, but I my ankle didn't have the stability to be able to run faster on trails, and so was filling off, and so after the first lap, I was just like, "Okay, let's slow it down," and once I slowed it down, ankle did great, and I just wanted to be out there because it's my favorite local race, and it was super fun. Had a couple of friends that it was their first trail race ever that did the 15K, and so it was cool to see them out there too.
Yay.
Yeah.
Um, okay, wait. You said you have an ankle bone or
Oh, no,
what did you
I just
say?
said my ankle was so swollen that, like, you couldn't tell like, it was like a kinkle.
Oh, swollen. Maybe you
And
said
so
swollen.
yeah, so I was just like, "My ankle bones are
Ah,
now visible." So that is a good thing.
okay, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, what happened?
No,
Okay,
nothing
let's come
crazy.
back to the ankle because I do wanna hear more about how you've worked on it and things. But first, So with all of this running, you have got to have a good drop bag item. Like, what's something that you just either and we're specifically talking today more about hurt, so we
Yeah.
will get to hurt 100. So you have a lot of races and running. So what is just something that keeps popping up that you're enjoying? It could be anything, gear, nutrition, something that you're enjoying on the run.
Uh, I stick with the same exact things, like, pretty much every time I run, so I always use precision gels and the hydration electrolyte packets, but at Hurt specifically, I ended up eating potatoes, and potatoes were great. So, maybe I'll go with potatoes this time around.
Feel like the boiled potato,
Yeah, boiled, chopped up,
like an
well,
actual potato.
actual potatoes. It was great.
Okay. Okay. It's so fun because if you go to the Hurt 100 website, they have a little video. It's called Rooted: The Story of Hurt. And did you have a
I
chance
did,
to
yes, I
watch
did
that?
watch
Okay.
it, yeah.
I mean, it almost makes you cry. Like, these are OG trail runners,
Mhm.
the folks who started HURT, and HURT stands for Hawaiian Ultra Running Team,
Yes.
HURT, right? And so these are the people, like, if you watch the video, it's just the people who kind of found trail running in Hawaii and created it and started making races because they wanted to run. And they were all kind of like road runners and marathoners, but then they wanted to do a little bit more and then they wanted to get on the trail. And there were a couple people who were just like super influential. But at one point, they a few of them pulled out some gear that they used to use, and you know, it's old school. And they did mention, like, they would take off with, like, a potato. Like, that was their trail food, was, like, a
Yeah,
boiled potato, and I was like, "Still works."
it works great. Yeah, they had that at every aid station, and I ended up using them, starting the 2nd to last lap, and it was great. No.
Something about it also potatoes. Actually, the Lone Star Trail had a crew this goes back to Rocky. I've done, like, every Rocky size race you can do, so I'm not sure which race I was doing, but they had cups of it was really just, like, instant mashed potatoes, but they'd made it soupy so you could just
So
drink
good.
it,
Yeah.
and that continues to be just the most perfect thing, and so I had my crew, bring that out for me on, the Lone Star Trail, and I got to enjoy that a few times. A few times it was not warmed up yet because they were just rolling in or something, and it's not good cold. Um, so make sure it comes warm if you're trying to have runny mashed potatoes. But anyway, okay, I love it. Um, okay, so we also do like a this week while running, which is like, something maybe that stood out from the week of running, but I kind of want to focus on your ankle for that because that's kind of been the thing this week. So tell us what happened. Let's start there.
Well, it is, like, so silly because I have gotten to the point where I I just don't fall normally when I'm on trails, so didn't fall at all during Hurt, didn't fall at all during Leadville or Javelina last year, and then I'm curring Mel on a very smooth, flowy trail through the or pacing Mel, and I was behind him because I was trying to get a video, and I have the video, and it is of me running, commenting on how all the trees are so pretty, and then smack, like, just eat it, and broke my phone, and my ankle not didn't break my ankle, just sprained it, and I didn't say anything about it because obviously I'm pacing, I'm not gonna say anything to him while I'm running for that, but get to the end of that section of, like, 21 miles or something, and I, like, tried first of all, like, I was getting picked up by Andrew to get Marvin to get brought back to my car and then drive to the next location, and once I was in his vehicle, I was just like, Oh, shoot, like, my phone is flashing green at me because I hit it when I was bad, so I was, like, trying to figure out how to get to the next crew point, got there, and then I once I got there, I looked at my ankle, I'm like, "Oh, shoot," because it kinda rolled several other times after because it just like, the stability was gone, and it's been a long time since I've sprained my ankle pretty badly, like, you have the rolls, but, yeah, definitely, got a nice fat ankle from that one, bruised up a little bit, but decided to treat it really aggressively and try like, I use myself as a rehab case study all the time, because 'cause I'm a PT, and I'm like, "You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend somebody to do a race in a week, but let's see what we can do," and did that this week, and so that was nice.
Okay, well, so what were maybe a few of the things that you did that you felt like were especially helpful to get you? Because you still, like you posted a pretty spicy workout too midweek, and I was like, "Okay, this girl just threw down on this ankle."
Well,
So
that was on Thursday, so I am so Sunday when I came home, I go to a place in town that's awesome, Evolve Recovery, and did Game Ready on my ankle, so it's like compression and ice, and then did that for like 30 minutes, then jumped in cold plunge for it as well afterwards, and then did did some just, like, basic range of motion, isometric type exercises on it after getting home, and then, thankfully, I work with another PT who is awesome, who ran her first 15K on trails this weekend, which is great.
okay,
Yeah,
nice.
we've been, so pretty much every day at lunch this week, she she was working on it, doing some soft tissue type stuff, and a guy in town as well who's awesome, Del Londos, he worked on me on Monday and Thursday, so it was soft tissue, manual therapy, and then also just doing some taping techniques to work on getting the swelling down, with KT.
Mm,
There's a really good mulligan ankle taping technique that I raced with today too and did on the track on Thursday that can work money to give you some stabilization, so utilize that as well, and I feel like if someone really needs to get to a race after a bad ankle sprain, that could help them do that, and now just from using myself as a guide that I'll probably stay off trails the next 2 weeks though and just do road just to not irritate it before building up for the 200s. So,
okay,
yeah.
okay, but you made it through today
Yeah,
and
made it through today,
in
and that's what I'm
fine
trying to do.
form, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay, well, that's some good tips, and actually, I'm taking notes from my son. He had a collision in his baseball game, and the other kid kinda went under him, and his ankle is just so swollen and all
Yeah.
bruised up, so I'm like, "Okay, gotta get him better." He's not out there running any trail races, but, see if we can get him, like, just walking normal again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, okay. Now, when you say these the smooth, buttery trails of Houston, Texas, I was like, "Pump the brakes," because, I mean, also having done Rocky, I think and these are trails that, like, are very typical of where I live as well, so I'm always on trails kind of like they're pretty rooty, and I mean, also, like, I've run trails in, like, Utah and California, which are, like those I would call butter. These, I feel like they're just so sneaky because you're not getting any elevation, so you just think, like, "Oh, just flat," right? And flat means easy, but
Not
for some
necessarily.
reason right, right, but, I just think there's something about these roots. They're so sneaky, and I was like, "Well, roots are really tricky," but then I was watching that Hurt 100 video, and I was like, "Holy cow." Like, those are roots on steroids.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing is I was just like I was literally just ran there with no ankle issues and was fine on all those routes, and then it's a Texas trail while I'm pacing, that takes me out.
Well, so I mean, I'm getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here because we'll go back to, like, the beginning of 100 of Hurt 100. But, how like, what was for example? Okay, when I'm on trails here, and they are pretty rooty, I do not wanna fall because, you can sprain your ankle. Like, falling is not a great thing. It can take you out of a race.
It can.
It's not like you fall on a trail and, like, it's not like you're falling on the grass
Yeah.
or pillows or even a track or a road. Like, it's very possible that you get hurt. So, every once in a while, I'll trip, and it's just like this I'm like, "Get it together." I always tell myself, "Get it together," because 'cause I'm like, you can absolutely not fall." So, I'll have those little wake up moments, which are helpful, and I'm thankful that it was just a trip and not a fall, and after that, I'm just like, I feel like I've just gotta pay attention to every step. Like, the moment you take yourself away from what you're doing, you're gonna like, it's more likely that you'll fall,
Yeah.
which is something that I really appreciate about at least the trails I run here is, like, I feel like it's such a lesson in being present. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to be right where you are the whole time. Like, if you start thinking ahead, if you start thinking about something else, it's like, no, you've gotta be in every
Focus.
step that you're taking.
Yep.
So, I was wondering, like, what was it like on her? Because like, that was a pretty rooty trail as at least what I saw of it. Was it similar to that? Did you feel like you had to be really present, or did you have or, like, where could your mind go while you were on that trail?
I honestly made it a goal going into it that I wanted to be in the moment every moment. So I definitely was present every moment, and that likely very much contributed to just being aware of the trail and respecting the trail and respecting how hard it is out there, but also how beautiful it is out there. And just, yeah, I just wanted to be in the moment every moment and enjoy it.
But you said for you what strategy, like, for
Sorry, you just cut out there. Can you say that again?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just saying, like, you decided that before the race
Yes.
started, and so I was wondering what led you to that strategy before you even started?
I, so Hert's been a bucket list race for me, and I lived in Hawaii. I was stationed in Hawaii, and that's actually when I first was introduced to trails, and this was so before I even knew really much of anything about ultras, I volunteered at Hurt when I first moved to Hawaii in January 2020. I had a friend that I thought I'd get back into triathlons when I moved to Hawaii, but I had a friend I used to do triathlons with in Kansas City, Kelly, and she reached out to me and was just like, "Hey, there's this trail race here. Do you wanna come and volunteer with me?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? That sounds cool." And I was a parking lot attendant at Hurt, and then went up and was watching the race and was just like, "This is crazy. People are running 100 miles in the jungle. Like, what is going on here?" And I thought it was really cool. Started running with her some on the trails, and then started doing obstacle course racing stuff in Hawaii, and, um, but had ran the Hurt Loop several times when I lived in Hawaii, but really only one time. I never ran it more than once, and every single time and I volunteered there every year after that as well, that I was stationed there. I volunteered as, like, a roaming medic on the trail, and every single time I was just like, "Man, I have so much respect for these people that are out here doing 5 loops of this. Like, how is this how is this even possible?" So, it was I when I got the opportunity through Rabbit, so they had the giveaway it was basically an essay contest, and I had a friend here, Art Hurtado, who had posted about it, and then my another friend, Mel, who was pacing and crewing at, Sam's Last Stand, had sent it to me as well, and they both knew I wanted to do this race, and so I applied, and when I got it, I was just like, "I just wanna be present." Like, this has been a race that I've wanted to do, and I know it's gonna be hard, but I love those trails so much. The community there is amazing. So her like, exactly as you said, like, they created this trail series essentially to provide opportunities for locals that live in Hawaii because it's really hard to travel. It's, like, in the middle of the Pacific. It's hard to travel other places to go to races, so they created this trail series to make opportunities for locals to be able to race, and the community is so special and so supportive and beautiful, beautiful trails, and it felt kinda like going home, in a sense because I knew so many people out there. I had friends that lived there that paced me for the race, and I had a friend who's stationed there come out and crew me, and then another one of my really good friends from PT school came out and crewed me, and it was just really special, and so I just wanted to enjoy every moment of being there. Yeah. I had that over a pace fan.
For
I
sure. Oh my goodness. Like that.
Yeah, I told my crew, I was just like, "I don't know what time I'm gonna be coming in because I just want to be here and enjoy this." Like, it's gonna like, I'm feeling good, but who knows? It's been a while since I've been on these trails. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's awesome because I mean, it just obviously goes way back to,
Yeah.
like, volunteer to starting as a volunteer and then kind of growing into running on it. That's pretty neat. What are some other things like, I just like this I love that you went in thinking I feel like I'm taught to be present while I'm there. It's like, "You better be present." And I don't necessarily, like, have that going in. So, what are some other things that you did to just be mindful of that, um, I don't know, kind of like mantra you went in with as far as being present? Were there other things that you know, what comes to mind is like a lot of times, you stop and take pictures and you're like, were there things that you did or did not do that you felt like allowed you to be more present as well?
I didn't take I normally don't have my phone on me or take my phone out at all during races, and so that was one thing I was not planning to do at all, but it was a like, I wanted to say hello to every person that I saw, thank every volunteer that I saw, tell everyone like, just encourage every single person that I saw, out there, so that was one thing that I wanted to do, and then it was just to really take joy in just getting to do this. Like, I really wanted to the end of last year, with I had talked to you the week after Javelina, and I learned some hard lessons from Javelina. Like, I ended up realizing it was after I had talked to you, but I had a hematoma on my femoral nerve after Javelina that I ended up not being able to run for 3 weeks because it was like I couldn't lift my leg at all. And then I also got to the point of being physiologically overtrained. So I ended up getting labs and
Mm.
it was like the week after, but my like hormone levels were all messed up, and it was kind of related to some other medical type cancer stuff that I just, like, ignored the signs, for that, and so I realized that I'd made some mistakes going into Javelina that just my body was just like, that explained, like, being so flat, so I had to take the time off to just rest and recover, and
Mhm.
I think I had the mindset of I was going into that race feeling like I still think I could have done what I wanted to do there, just my body was overtrained, and so I wasn't able to do that, and so I decided
Mm.
to go back and kind of strip back to I'm doing this because I love it. It's not like I'm going to be a sponsored elite athlete or anything else, like, I have a full-time job, I'm owned by the Army for the next 6 years, and I love that, and, like, I really do love my job, and love serving, love being a physical therapist, but I really love running and I love being on the trails and I love the community and I needed to bring myself back to that, and not just focus on the performance, which I was doing too much with Javelina, and with Leadville, but with the altitude. like, that just knocked me out, and I think kinda set it up for the physiological, like, overtraining afterwards. But I mean, that was still a good race, with everything considered for that, but, yeah, javelina just taught me a lesson to step back, and I didn't think I really had the thought after javelina that I was just like, "Well, once I got the nerve hematoma, like, calmed down, and was able to get back to running, I was just like, "I don't know what this is gonna look like. Do I have enough time to turn it around for her?" And it might just be a go have fun kind of a race, but things ended up turning out pretty good as far as
Mhm.
training, and so going into I'm like, "I might have a shot of something special out here, and we're just gonna see what happens."
Aw. I love everything you said, and I think, you know, maybe that's one of the reasons why we do this as well, because it's humbling.
It
You
is.
know, it requires the best of you, and so you want to, like, control what you can control, but you usually wind up learning you have little control,
Yep.
and it's better just to be present and be humble and really remember why you're out there and let that be, like, the driving force rather than the performance, but it's easy to, like I mean, that's just part of wanting to do your best and be your
Yeah.
best, which I think, everybody wants that, and actually, I was listening to, Ashley Polson, she was talking a little bit about the 100-mile record that she just broke, and
She's
she was
amazing.
saying, how she obviously loves running, but she's like, sometimes it just aligns and it's a special moment and you just, fall in love and
Yep.
it kinda justifies all of the other times that you struggled
Yeah.
and it didn't line and you kinda had to just learn some lessons and I think that was great. I love that part of being present was just encouraging other people on the trail and saying hello to everyone. It made me think on the Lone Star Trail, I didn't again, I love that you went in with this. I'm taught this on the trail, but I thanked every bridge on the Lone Star Trail, and there's a lot. And I said, "Thank you, bridge," as I was because and also, obviously, somebody built it,
Yeah,
like, "Thank you for being here." So I don't
absolutely.
have to go down and up and through another creek and so, okay, well, let's go back just a little bit, um, and I guess talk race. There was so much that you just said that I feel like we could kind of talk about those kind of things forever, but, um, I know okay, so as far as the website says, it says there's a lower loop and then there's 4 identical loops on the course. So if you could just maybe kind of, like, explain the race a little bit.
Yes.
So somebody who's listening is preparing, they can kind of wrap their head around it.
Yeah, so it's the standard course is what they consider to be 5 loops, but it's really kind of a series of out and backs. So there's the Hart Makiki loop at the base, and then this year we actually did that 6 times. So we did an additional, like, Hart loop first before starting out because there is a part of the trail that there is a landslide and they had to reroute. So to get the full
Mm,
mileage, they just had us do an additional loop there at the beginning, and you go up a big hill to start. So you start it's all pretty much single track. There's one crossover on a road on the trail for like a quarter of a mile. There's a lot of pictures from that road that turned out really good, but it's easy to get to. And then there's a smoother section on the backside. Um, but yeah, so you have the Heart lower loop, but you immediately start climbing up Hogsback, which is super rooty, steep climb in the jungle. It's all in the jungle. It's beautiful. And then you kind of go through jungle trails, and then on the backside of that loop, you go up another big steep climb, cross over the road, and then you have a nice little flowy section, that goes back and then it connects it, so it's basically so you have the loop on the bottom and then it's 2 Ts that go out to the side, and it's 2 out and backs. So one of the out and backs goes to Moana Falls or Manoa Falls, and the Pirates
mm,
aid station, which is so fun, and then the other out and both of these have a huge climb like, down and up. It kind of is like a mountain climb, just you're not you start at sea level. And then the other one goes to Nuuanu, a river that goes through on the other side, so you go drop down into Nuuanu and then come back up again that way. So the because of the rerouting for the course, it had 27,000 feet of elevation over the 100 miles. And
Okay.
it's very rooty. There's very few sections where it's just smooth trail. Like, there's just, like, a couple of very small sections. The rest of it has a lot of roots, a lot of rocks, a lot of stream crossings, beautiful, like, jungle views everywhere. So it's a very technical climbing kind of course.
But you do get the views
Oh,
every
yeah.
once in a while kind of pop
It's
out
like the
and
entire time, it's gorgeous. You're in the yeah, yeah.
that sounds amazing. How were I mean, a lot of people I don't know, I would say maybe there's, like, a love-hate with loops, right? Like, sometimes, like, doing a point to point is really exciting because it's like, I'm not gonna see the same thing twice, and I'm gonna, like, go the distance, right? You feel like you kinda go the distance rather than, like, a loop. I don't mind a loop at all. I think,
I love
like, it's kind
loops.
of I just kinda get into, like, a meditative state, and just
Yeah,
around I go, but, what did you think about that? And I guess also how was that, like, kind of interaction with other runners? 'Cause a lot of times on those looped courses, you just wind up maybe being around other runners more because
yeah.
you're all somewhere on the same loop.
And that's I think I'm actually really interested for the 200s later this year because 'cause they're just one big loop for each of them, and that style of racing will be kind of new to me for that, and I'm just like, I wonder if I'll see people out there because I love the loop course, and at Hurt, like, you get to see everyone the entire time, so, like, for me, being present, interacting with everybody on the course, cheering and encouraging everyone on, and then I knew a lot of the locals that were out there racing it, and so it was really, really cool to be able to cheer them on, and then, like, the gal who got 2nd, we stopped and gave each other a hug on the last loop when she was going down to Nuuanu and I was coming back up, and because, like, I had seen her every single loop, like, coming up behind and we were cheering each other on, and I'm like, "Hey, like,
Aw.
let me give you a hug," and then, seeing Candace Bird out there, like, every like, you see people on the course. Up and there was one lap where you just didn't really see anyone because I was kind of up ahead a little bit, but, like, so it was just like, "This is odd," like, I'm not seeing people, but then the next I think that was the 3rd loop, but then started seeing people again the 4th loop, and so it's just neat to be able to interact with people, and then it also makes it easy for your crew, I would say, for that too, and so I had 2 close PT friends, who were crewing me. Ellie had gone out there, basically we did a little week-long Hawaii vacation together, which was also great, like, just I took her to all my favorite spots beforehand, and, we scuba dived for, like, easy cross training a couple days before the race, and but she had never been to an ultra or crewed an ultra or anything else, and she was on it. She was great, but it made it easier for crew to be able to be out there and support it versus, if you have somebody that and that's what I love about ultras too, is, like, getting to share the experience with others, and so it was easier to share with it being like that.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Um, so, like, I agree, like, a crew is a special thing on a looped course because
Yeah.
it is a little bit easier for them, they can, like, stay and be already how did you set up? Like, did you give your friends some, like, training, like, "Hey, I'm gonna come in and we're gonna X, Y, and Z, and then off I go." Like, did you kind of, like, have a little sit down chat about the game plan when you came into the
Yeah,
crew
I
station?
mean, I am, like, probably, like, hyper organized when it comes to racing. I make a spreadsheet with what I'm gonna have at each aid station, and I'm very boring when it comes to my nutrition plan. Like, it'll get different moving forward, but normally I'm very boring. So I set up for every race that I've done where I've had a crew, or even without, so it'd be in the drop bags. I do just Ziploc bags with everything that I need per stop. So all they have to do is be like, lap 1, is it the main aid station or is it Manoa? Because those were the 2 places they could be at, so they just had to pull that out and give me the things in it, and then I'd make a note for if I wanted, like, headlamp charged or something like that, and my friend Ellie, she was on it. We were kinda joking, she's like, I kind of have OCD tendencies too and, like to be super organized." She's like, "This was just playing right down my alley," but she had a stopwatch going to make sure it wasn't gonna be more than 3 minutes because I told her I wanted to, be in and out within 3 minutes,
Yes.
and so they were on it. There's one point when, came in
That's so cute. She's like, "Start."
yeah,
Yeah.
and there's one point when, I had my other friend Jess, I literally didn't have to do anything with them, came in, she was, slathering Aquaphor on my legs for me, on my arms, and then, the other one was, sunscreening, getting my pack together, and I'm like, "You guys are great." "Thank you." So they were
Aw. Yeah, they sound like they're pros.
yeah. I've gotten really
That's
lucky.
awesome.
Every single race I
Awesome that you had a good crew. Okay, well, you mentioned Aquifer because
yeah.
this race has, I believe, 22 stream crossings. So tell me about because I like getting my feet wet makes me so nervous. Most of the races that I've done, there is a section where that happens, and I am always like very concerned and want to make sure like I'm getting dry as quickly as possible. But this is like probably you just got to kind of roll with it. So how did you approach the stream crossings and just like how did that play out?
The funny thing is afterwards, I was just like, "I think I did pretty well." I didn't change socks at all. I normally don't during an ultra. I did end up changing shoes. I mean, I had 2 pairs of shoes. I ended up flip-flopping in between them twice because on the 3rd lap coming in, the last stream crossing, I missed the rock. I thought it was a rock, and it was just mud, and I went down to probably my knees in mud, and so that got all up in my shoes and everything else, but at that point, I was only, 2 miles from getting to the main aid station, so I was just like, "I'm just gonna change shoes," and then I did that again on the 4th lap, I think, because it was just dark and so I had swapped out shoes, but I kept the same socks, and afterwards, I was just like, "Man, I did pretty good, I don't have, not, more blisters," but I slather my feet with Aquaphor before starting the race, um, but I had really weird feet problems after her, so I got this really weird rash over the top of both of my feet
Oh.
that lasted for, a week, and it was itchy, and I was just like, "Maybe I should get seen for this," but it ended up going away, and then 2 weeks after, so I didn't think I'd gotten blisters, but literally the entire bottoms of both of my feet just peeled off, and there were blisters under that that I was not aware of, and I'm like, "This is disgusting." This is they didn't hurt, but, yeah, my feet just kind of peeled off, so I'm mostly over that at this point. So, I learned my lesson
Oh,
and that's the longest
wow.
race I've ever done, as far as time, the longest race I've ever done, and my feet were, the squishy, wet that you would normally get in Texas in the summer by probably mile 3 or 4, and they were just like that the entire race. Yeah.
Well, I hear you because I do the summer the habanero, which is the August race here in
Yeah.
Houston, and it's just like an experiment in, like, soggy skin, which
Yeah.
is why I started using the
The
salty
salty
britches,
britches,
which I,
yeah.
like, kinda cha kinda changed my life just with that race, but, okay. Oh, I had a question. Now I'm forgetting it, but I was thinking when you were talking, like, strange things afterward, after the Lone Star, I had these, like, little bumps, and I think they're from spiders
Oh,
because it
no.
got so at night I was like, "Where is this person in front
Right.
of me? Like, why aren't they clearing out these cobwebs?" Because I was just, like, full body cobweb in it.
I
It
think
was
I got bit by a spider on my toe at Lone Star, like, on my, like, right foot, there's, like, my one of and I'm just like, "What is this?" Like, it's on the top of one of my toes, and I'm pretty sure it's a spider bite. So, yeah, I can imagine if you're out there for the full 96 miles that you would get mini spiders.
I know, well, at night, it was just, like, the whole I stopped, like, picking them off of myself because it
Yeah.
was just, like, full face, full
Yeah,
body
you
web,
love
full
spiders.
and I was just like, "I just have to." And I mean, you've just gotta imagine that that spider's on you somewhere, at least
Uh,
a few of them at some point, so
mhm.
ugh. Anyway, yeah, it's always fun to have, like, weird things pop up, like, days after the race.
Yeah.
That you're
Yeah,
like, "Huh,
that's what
interesting,
happened.
interesting." Okay, well, um, so I first heard about her through Burton because I think, whatever, she's, a big name and has her races, and I was following her, and then she's always run her I
Yeah,
mean, she's ran it several times. So,
9 times, I think.
how did you get to meet her? Did you
I
guys
did.
I mean, I know she's always out there and just, like, a big fan of the race and, um, d
During the race, she was very, like, stoic and with it, and I very I will say I started the race, I'm just like, "I'm just gonna go my pace. I'm just gonna see" like, there's I put myself at the front because I was just like, "I'm feeling good, we'll see what happens," and I know that these trails get narrow quickly, and I knew it, like, wasn't with the front pack of guys, obviously, they were flying, and when I got to the first turnaround at the first aid station and was coming back up, um, I mean, I saw the people that were coming back in, and they were less than a half mile, and in my head, I'm just like, what?"